And the countdown.
Yeah, we'll give people a few more minutes to gather. And I love that folks have turned on the camera. It's so good to see your faces. I know it's not always easy at this time of the day. Some people it's early, and we really appreciate that.
Oh, there it goes on the website. We're down to 0.
Were you watching it?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, that's so fun. Okay, well then we can just welcome to everybody, right? That we can at least do that.
Yeah, hey everyone.
Yeah, so glad to see that you're all here. We're gonna, like we do with every virtual meeting, you just kind of have to give people a minute to gather. We had some early joiners this morning, so thank you all who got on early. We'll wait to start our official, thing until we get, I would say maybe like 2 after, right, April? Does that sound like, if I could? Yeah,
2 after is good.
Yeah. The more waiting. It's just all. I think I was really more ready than I thought yesterday evening, April. It's just like the anxious, like we're waiting. Is it starting?
I know. Is it starting?
Is
Are we ready? Is it time to do it? I know.
It's been great. Fantastic. Okay. This is so good. Love to see all these folks that joined.
Yeah, especially on a Saturday. Thank you, everyone. I mean, it's always hard to commit to something. I know there's so many distractions, so many places to go, so many things to do. So to see you all here is fabulous. Thank you so much.
It is. Okay. Okay, well, are we at? No, not quite at 2 minutes.
It's 9:01.
9:01.
So, I see a few more people logging in, so we'll give them a chance.
Oh yeah, there they go. There's like more and more.
Hopefully
coffee fueled.
Yep, hopefully everything was simple and easy this morning.
Yeah, I was a little concerned that people wouldn't be able to find the right link, or that they would be confused. So the fact that we actually have 23 people on here means that message got through.
Right,
did that one.
Exactly.
So 25. Okay, we're at 9:02. So let's just kickstart this.
Go.
We are
let's
so
go.
excited. We cannot wait. There's so much stuff to talk about. So welcome everybody. My name is Cindy Cohen and I am the Travel Ninja. Sorry. Somebody's on mute. Here we go.
Oh,
and this is our very first travel symposium. I see some of our speakers are on here. We have guest people that I've never met. So I'm so glad to meet you guys all. And April is here too. You want to introduce yourself, April?
Sure. I'm April, and I'm just as curious and as excited as all of you joining us today. So I'm super excited to put this together with Cindy. So hey, here we are.
Yeah. Welcome. Just a couple quick housekeeping items. We wanted to give everybody just a few.
Thank you. Can you just
notes?
I am
muting them. Okay. A few notes about joining a virtual event like this. So as you can tell, you need to stay muted when you're on the call. And even if you're a speaker, it's good to stay muted so that there's not distractions. Everything can happen. I have a cat running around in the background, which you might see in a minute. So it's good to do that. And at the end of the sessions, we're trying to leave a little window, 5-15 minutes or so, for people to ask questions. So then you'll have an opportunity to either type those questions in the chat or unmute yourself and ask and interact with the speakers. I love that we see video. So if you are able to do that, it gives us a chance to actually feel like we're meeting you. So if you have a chance to turn it on for a bit of the sessions when you've joined them, we really appreciate that. What else? Oh,
don't forget Travel Salad at the end on Sunday. That's your chance to connect with other travelers and for the speakers to get to know them a little bit. It's just a fun interactive thing, and we'll explain Travel Salad a bit more later. So check that out.
And then we have another interactive session, which is Birds of the Feather. It's the last session of the event on Sunday the very last afternoon, which is another chance for folks to get to know each other and talk and interact. We wanted to make that something a big part of this event, so it's not just us and folks talking at you. We wanted you to get a chance to talk to them as well as talk to other travelers. So both of those sessions are opportunities. The Travel Salad and the Birds of a Feather are opportunities for you guys to interact both with our speakers as well as yourselves. So that's kind of, you know, what the housekeeping items and some things you might want to keep in mind. We will be sending out one other note that we will send out a feedback form at the very end on Sunday to everybody. As I said at the beginning, this is the very first time we've done this. April and I have never done this event before. We've never done an event at this scale before, so we've been a little crazy. So if you have any feedback or any suggestions, we want to hear it all. We would love to do this every year. So we just want to keep improving. And so we thought we'd take this minute and just tell you a little bit about kind of how we got here. We have 2 days and I think, what did I say? 20 sessions across 2 days, right?
And over 30 some speakers. So it's super exciting.
It's crazy. So April, I'll let you tell your story and then I'll tell my story, just a little bit about kind of how we ended up in the travel space and why we're standing here or doing this weekend with you. So
yeah. Well, thanks for joining us again, everyone. This is super exciting, something I never thought I'd get to realize this dream. So travel for me has always been more than moving from place to place. And for me, it all started in the very center of the United States in Iowa, in the middle of Iowa, no less. And growing up, I never thought that it was super exciting, but in retrospect, it was probably the best place for me and the best place to start my journey. Travel for me started with literally a couple things. I can tie it back to this super little, maybe you can see that, Kodak camera. It's a little brownie, basically camera, and you opened it up and you used to pop a little cartridge in there and have to take your film to the drugstore to get it developed. And sometimes you'd have to wait weeks. You'd have to save your allowance, save up your coins, and then get your pictures back. And it also ties back to these maps. My dad worked at the Department of Transportation in Iowa, and every day, maybe every week, he'd come home with a stack of maps and a highlighter. And those three things really are what started my journey on this love of travel. The other people in my life really influenced that. My grandfather loved to take photos. My dad loved to take photos. And one Christmas, this was my Christmas gift. And from there, my world of discovery just really opened up. My grandmother introduced me to the art of discovery. For her, Saturday was much more than dusting and chores. And I would get super excited to jump in the car and go down the road and see who we would meet, listen to their stories, check out the newest little pie shop on the corner, or see, just see what was down the road. And it wasn't about doing chores, much to my mother's dismay. So I really think those things are what started my love for travel and discovery. And that is what I believe travel is for me, as discovery. And that's what I want to share with all of you, is discovery. All the people I've met. Cindy and I have recorded over 150 episodes. Not all of them have been aired. Some of them we scrapped for our YouTube channel. But this is why I'm super excited that you're joining me today, so I can share these people, so I can share their stories, and they have a place so we can discover them, hear where they've been. I haven't been half the places they've been. So just like you, I'm just as excited to hear their content, learn new tips, and meet them. So join me on the road, jump in my van, jump in my car, bring your camera. That's literally what this is all about for me. So I'm just excited. You can tell I'm nervous. So I'm not good at speaking in big groups like this. This is overwhelming. And I just want to cry that I've been able to meet these people and share. It's like opening up my Rolodex of people. I mean, these people have graciously shared their stories, shared their time and their expertise. So now I bring that to you. So I'm going to turn this over to Cindy, who I've been so lucky to meet, and you'll get to hear our story later of how we connected. it's super amazing. And I think that's what brings me to tears too. So
yeah,
we'll share that later. So
in the travel salad, we're going to talk about meeting people. And yeah, that we've talked about telling it here because it's such a cool story, but we're going to save that. So join Travel Salad and find out how April and I met and how we're actually connected, which is so funny, serendipitous. So I too, you'll find out in Travel Salad that I grew up in the middle of the country as well. We actually grew up in the same state in Iowa. And like that, because you grow up in the middle of the country and landlocked, I dreamed of places always. I can't even remember a time I wasn't dreaming of leaving, leaving home and going to those places that I saw on television and in movies and so forth. And I too, we did a lot of road trips as kids. We not a lot of big trips, but we were always on the road. My family took us, across the country several times. And I had the honor to go on a foreign exchange program to France when I was in high school. But by the time I was an adult, life got in the way. I got a job, I got family and kids, and my trips started to be about that. Not that we didn't travel, but it was a different kind of travel. And as you know, I talk about solo travel, and I hadn't had a real opportunity to do that. I traveled with work. And as I said, I took my kids lots of places. We traveled a great deal. But as my kids started getting older, I started thinking about taking trips for more adult reasons, just go and do something without little kids in tow. And I had been dreaming about a trip to Belize. I probably dreamt about this trip for over a year. And I used to meet with a group of friends at a jazz club here locally. And I was sitting in that group talking about my dream to go to Belize. And thankfully, my friend Mike doesn't know that I tell this story all the time because Mike just turned to me and he was a little irritated. And he was like, well, why don't you just go? And I heard the answer in my head before I said it. And the answer in my head was, because I'm waiting for someone to go with me. And I just thought, what? Who am I? Like, I don't need people to go with me. That's crazy. I go to the movies by myself. I raise my two kids by myself. I don't need people. But I heard that answer in my head and I thought, this is insane. That October, I think that was early in the year in 2013, I went to Belize for 8 wonderful days all by myself. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever done. And it was the most fabulous thing I've ever done. I went on long walks. I got lost. I ate fruit I didn't know. I met local taxi drivers and knew their names, and they parked and took me different places. I met locals in the park, in coffee shops. I was lonely. I was scared. I cried. I got harassed. All of those things happened. But I also made friends. I drank cocktails on the beach by myself. I read books. I took naps. I had a fantastic time. And I will tell you that now that's the only way I want to travel. So much so that I just got back from a almost 3-month train trip around the United States. And I stayed with local friends and family along the way. And when I got back, the only thing I could think of is I wish I would have had more alone time. I wish I would have had more freedom to do my own thing. And so that's one of the things I wanted to share. I really think it's important to think about how free you are when you travel alone. That's the message that I get. That's the feeling I get when I think about it, is I can go whenever I want to wherever I want with or without anybody. And I have that freedom. And when I'm on my trip, I can do what I want. And so, although solo travel may not be your thing, I think that's what April and I are hoping to share with you guys here too, is that discover your way of travel. There are so many ways to travel. And in the next 2 days, you're going to hear from people who have walked the Camino, who've camped in their car, who have, they've done all kinds of things. They've done house sitting, they've done teaching English, they've done everything to travel, and they've made up their own ways to do it. So I hope that you'll get that message from all of our speakers and all the people that are sharing, that there is just so many ways to travel. There's no one way. I do all of the ways, I think. I like just about every kind of travel. So I think that's really what we're trying to share, April, right? Is that you can travel however you want, whenever you want, and it's accessible to everybody.
Right. And that's really our goal with this, is to bring that to you, bring that to everyone, is that it doesn't matter your budget, your time, any of those obstacles, you can do it. And these individuals have done that. And they are the stars. So I'm excited to share that with you guys.
Yeah, we've been, as you said at the beginning, April, that we've been so lucky to interview over 150 people. And then we have 35 speakers that are speaking here this weekend. And I think that's more than anything, that's what empowers me to continue to do it, is to hear from other people. I learn something every time we talk to a traveler, every time we've interviewed somebody from our YouTube channel, right? We get a spark of something. Either I got to go there, or I never thought of that. There's just so much great content out there. And we're so pleased to be able to share all that with everybody. There's lots of good tours, books,
tours, activities, ways to travel. If you don't have money, if you want to work for a few months, if you want to, I mean, so many innovative ways now. And luckily, through this collection of people, which is just a handful compared to the 150. So who knows where we'll be next year at this time.
Who knows? So we have, let's see, we have like travel. April's doing a travel photography session. Is that later this afternoon or tomorrow? I can't recall.
I think it's tomorrow.
Sunday. Yeah, the photography one. And then we have an event on using your miles and points. That was something that I have no idea how to do, so check that session out. We have another session on human-powered travel, so biking and hiking and different ways to travel on using your own power. What else, April? There's a few more, right? We got all kinds of stuff.
Right, we've got traveling while vegan. So if you're having dietary concerns, we've got some chefs, we've got some really experienced people with some great tips on how to do that. We have packing tips, we have staying safe, experience travel your way, just the different ways, pet sitting, house sitting. I mean, things I'd never even considered and wish I'd known about when I was, 20 years back. Think of all the more places I could have gone. So
of all the places.
I think that's just the real big message here, is that we're different. This travel show is different, and this collection of individuals and their knowledge and their experiences far trumps the stamps in my passport book. But that's why I am so passionate about it. I know there's more out there, and I just get excited meeting these people, just kind of like when my grandma put me in the car. It's like, wow, who am I going to meet today? Where are we going to go? And just hearing and talking travel is something that I so enjoy. So thank you all for joining Cindy and I on this journey.
Yeah.
And being here today.
Yeah, and it's so funny. We talked this morning or last night about doing this welcome session, and we're all done with our housekeeping, right? Do we have anything else to share? We're going to be done early. We didn't have a whole hour of talk. We did not want to bore you with our stories. There is so much else to do. So do we have?
Well, just for those that joined late, again, just mute yourself. Some of the sessions, Cindy and I had a hard time putting this together. It's been over a year plus in the works, but some sessions will go by quickly and you might not get your question answered, but please look up all of these individuals and reach out to them directly, go to their website. You'll get a follow-up email. I know there's some great giveaways actually.
Yes, I want those.
Yeah, people have offered up, and that is super appreciated. And any feedback, I mean, let us know, like, was that session too short? I mean, any of those specifics in the follow-up email. The recorded sessions, I know it'll take us a little bit longer to collect all of that. So fingers crossed, all the technical stuff goes well today. So any of that feedback will be super helpful. I think that's really all the housekeeping stuff again.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned to reach out, because that is really what this is about. Is as I look at the faces that are on here and the people that we've talked to, and if you connect with somebody in a session, message them. There are links on the page to each one of those folks that are speaking in each one of those sessions. You can find their webpage. You can connect with them. They're going to send out giveaways. So, and if you don't know how to connect with them, message me. I will help you get connected with them. If you forget somebody's name, like they talked about this, who is this? I will find them for you, because that is exactly what we are doing this for, is to empower you to find people to travel with, to, connect with, different ways to do this and learn from each other, because we do that every day when we're doing these other events, and as we've connected with all these people. So we want to share that with you guys too. So I'm glad you mentioned that. It's really important to connect with both the other guests, maybe even, but especially our speakers and folks who have something to share with you today.
Right. And also like we mentioned, we do have a YouTube channel. It's under the Travel Collective. We'll provide that link later. There's 150 people there as well to reach out to. And any ideas on sessions? I feel like there's a couple topics we may have missed this year, but again, in the trying to put this all together, it was almost impossible. There was stuff we wanted to add, things we wanted to do. So even sending those suggestions for next year would be super appreciated, because we would love to see this happen again. And I know we will. I know we have a great core group of people. So yeah, give us your feedback, and we look forward to meeting you and learning more about you today in all of the sessions.
Yeah. Okay. So we're going to let you all go then, right? Everybody, unless just I'm going to check the chat to see if anybody has any questions. I don't think so. There's just been a couple of notes here. Thank you. Yeah, and if there's any questions, you can just email us directly, and we'll see you. Our first session is at 10 o'clock, which is in 40 minutes. It's travel. There's actually 2 sessions, I think, running at the same time, travel, food, and then experience travel. Those are the 2 sessions that are coming up here in a bit. So grab a cup of coffee, or if it's late enough in your time zone, go get a glass of wine, and we will see you guys in a few minutes, and hopefully see you all throughout the day. So have a great day. Have a great session, guys.
Thank you. Later. Thanks.